for you guys. I just posted in the Telegram and the Discord. If you got to review it, awesome. If not, here is your chance to see what we're looking at. So we're going to start off on AU. So I'm going to jump up. So this is the 4 hour that I posted. We're going to just jump up to the daily and see where we're at. So we can see that we're primarily bearish here. See this descending trend line, pretty big bearish channel, but we found a good amount of support at this level. See all these wicks, guys? This is about the 67 area, 0.67. Good amount of rejection from here, and we started pushing up. We got a higher low formation here. And so essentially from here, this daily trend since mid-October has been bullish, right? So we didn't see the rejection that we wanted to see here at the 38.2. So we're going to target our next zone, which is this trend line, as well as this 61.8 confluence level and this structure zone highlighted in red. So let's drop down to the 4 hour and see what we could potentially see for this week. So I drew, funny thing is Angelo and I did the same pair, and we actually have a very similar analysis. I have a bit of a symmetrical triangle here. He has a descending triangle, but nonetheless, we are looking for a continuation of this shorter term trend, right? So again, we have a higher low, we have this large push, and then we have a bit of a consolidation around this structure zone, which is now acting as support, and this 38.2, which didn't give us, again, the rejection that we wanted to see. So we're gonna look for a breakout of this symmetrical triangle, and we're just gonna target back up to this trend line, and even potentially, you know, looking for wicks up in the 618 and this zone up here. So let's see how far away this is, this consolidation region. So we're looking at like 65 pips to a max 90 pips. So we could definitely see this push higher, especially since we saw this bullish volume come into the market. So this is something to look for. And this is the 4 hour. So we could see some execution happening in the next 24 hours out of here. So keep an eye on premium analysis. We'll be posting in there if you're a member, and potentially signals if you're a signal member. Let's hop over to Euro Swiss, which currently a trade is out for already. We're in a sell for Euro Swiss. Let's hop up to the daily, see where we're at. So this is primarily bearish. You know, we broke through a major support level this monthly, and then we actually came back up to the 38.2 after we fibbed from here. This was the conviction of this bearish candle, this bearish push, came down, fibbed to here, came back up and found some rejection around the 38.2, and now we have our first lower high, followed by an engulfing, if you guys can see that. And price is kind of consolidating in between these trend lines here. It's a bit of a triangle, asymmetrical triangle, but you know, I just marked this up just for the sake of trend lines, seeing where price is going. It's getting squeezed more and more as these days go on. So the next step, you know, we have an engulfing, and we have huge wicks at this 38.2, this lower time frame fib. So we're just going to target back down to the lower trend line here in this consolidation, and then also this negative 27.2. So let's drop down to the 4 hour. Again, this will make a lot more sense. I am kind of going a little quick here, but if you guys did read the analysis, it'll make a lot more sense. So here's the 4 hour. So you can see here, this was structure that was broken, came back up and retested. It's 50% fib level. I'm expecting a little bit of a push. I mean, we have a wick here, a little bit of exhaustion around the 23.6, but you know, price action could definitely come back up here, hit the 38.2 once more, and then we'd actually get like a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern here. See it on market. Where'd you go? So a little bit, something like this. That's the left shoulder, neckline. There's the head. There's the right shoulder. So potentially we could see something like this. This is one potential opportunity, and then it would support our short down to this trend line, this negative 27.2. So we're waiting for some confirmation on this. High probability trade here. You know, we'll have a good stop loss just outside of this lower high, outside of the structure zone. Something to look forward to. Again, this is the 4 hour. So yeah, watch for the premium analysis and the signals on this one. But again, we already do have a couple shorts out on this. So this is looking pretty good. We feel confident about this pair. And then I'm going to jump to DXY. So this is the dollar index, which is pretty much the strength of the US dollar. And I use it more as an indicator just to kind of get a general, you know, idea of where the market's heading. especially since we trade a lot of USD pairs, and since USD is like the most traded pair, it accounts for like over 70–80% of the total volume in trading. So let's hop onto the weekly here. So, I mean, we've been covering this for a while. If you guys have seen any of our DXY analysis, it's been in a steady bullish trend for quite a while, right? Nothing crazy. It's not like a overly strong trend, but it is steadily, you know, printing higher highs. And, you know, as we see a little bit of a double bottom here on a daily. So we have a higher low here. So these are all higher lows, higher low here, higher low here, where this double bottom formed, but we are in a bit of a range. So we have a double bottom followed by a double top. This is the median here, as well as structure. So it broke through, it tested. I'm expecting it to come down and form a bit of a triple bottom here, or just, you know, another low, potential higher low if it drops a little lower and then continues higher. And we're just looking for confirmation. You know, this is the daily, so look for a little bit of a drop. Look for some reversal here, but just something to be aware of, that price action is in this range between 97.15 and 98.45. So just keep this in mind that we are in this range. We can see price bounce a little bit within this range, and to get a real like perspective on this trend, we want to see it break this blue line, the structure zone. We want to see it get above there, retest the support, and then continue higher, which we can then target a new higher high, potentially at this 100 region where our monthly resistance is. So it's always good to just keep the higher time frame trends in mind. So DXY, again, has been very steadily bullish. There's no reason, nothing that has come out that's really going to change or shake the trend. So we're just going to stay with it and you know, just expect more bullish pressure coming out of it. But again, we always wait for confirmation, and we listen to what the market is telling us rather than predicting anything. Oh, yeah. So let's take a look at gold, because as we know, the US dollar and gold, so DXY and gold, share an inverse relationship. So relatively, if DXY goes up, gold will go down. If DXY goes down, gold will go up. You know, that's what the relationship that these two pairs share. So this is gold on a daily, but to give you guys a better perspective, we're going to hop onto the weekly here. It's been very bullish and actually broke into a new range after. Actually, I want to show you guys this. This has been a monthly head at inverse head and shoulders. It broke this weekly resistance, which in turn happened to be the neckline. And price action broke into this new range. So what do you do when you have a big push, right? You want to fib it and wait for a retracement before we can, you know, enter on a continuation. So right now we're looking at a bit of a weekly flag or a daily flag that retraced back to the 38.2, which now you can see there's a lot of wicks, there's a lot of exhaustion, no real clear direction as of yet. And that makes a lot of sense because DXY is ranging. So, you know, in turn, or in theory, gold will be ranging as well, right? Which that's exactly what it's doing. So we have a double bottom here around the 38.2. We have some, you know, resistance and rejection around the structure level, 1477.5. So again, guys, we want to see, you know, I'm bullish. They're both, it's a safe haven. Gold is a safe haven. So I do have a lot of confidence in that it will continue a bullish trend. But for us to, you know, actually take a trade on this, we want to see it break out of this flag, right? We want to see a break and retest of this structure zone of the 1477.5 region, and then we can target higher, back towards a higher high, towards our monthly resistance, which will, you know, again, test the top of this range. So this is very interesting. You know, I like trading gold. I know a lot of people ask for it and ask for this analysis. But yeah, it is looking, you know, very, very stuck in this range. So let's see how big this range is, just to give you guys an idea. It's about a 300 pip range, so it's pretty big. I know a lot of scalpers are, you know, either selling the top of this range or buying the bottom of the 38.2 and so on. But, you know, to be more conservative, like our strategy has been, we want to just wait for that break and retest. And then we can catch a huge move back up to this monthly. Looking forward to this one playing out. This is a daily time frame again. Then I'll hop over to this next set of pairs that I have for you guys. So we got AJ and EJ, which are highly correlated. So the analysis is going to be similar. but let's hop up to the monthly just to see what's going on. I mean, not much is going to change in a monthly because, again, every candle represents a month. But, yep, it has been very bearish, as we can see, steeply bearish. And now we're kind of getting some consolidation around the 38.2 after the most recent bearish push. So let's drop down to the weekly, see what's going on. So again, yeah, we have a little bit of consolidation. The most recent trend here is the daily trend from like mid-September has been pretty bullish, but you know, it's just, I consider it more a retracement because when you keep the overall trend in mind, it's very bearish and structure does need to be formed. So we could see that price wicked towards the 50% level and has kind of found a lot of resistance around the 38.2. So let's drop down to a daily time frame. So this analysis was just posted as a 4-hour, but here we are on the daily. So this is the major resistance level, this red highlighted zone, right? This was broken structure over here, came down, tested. It pushed up to this 200 EMA, almost at the 50%, but then came back down. This is a bit of a wedge here, which after a bullish push, which shows a weakening trend. I'm going to highlight this. I'm just going to show you guys how I use patterns a little bit here. So this is a bit of a wedge. And on a lower time frame, this will be more clear. So it just shows a weakening trend. So it came back down. This push did not hold. We did not see enough bullish volume coming out of this area that would have pushed us to the 618, which would have been our next level of resistance. It did not happen. It actually pushed us back below this resistance level, below the 38.2, which now we're finding some resistance at. So we drop down to the 4-hour here. I am expecting this to go lower, simply based on higher time frame analysis, fibs, and you know these lower highs that are forming. So we can see here a lot of bearish volume, more bearish volume here, a few engulfings in a row, another one right through the MAs. But to be more conservative, I want to wait for a break of this median support level around 94 flat. So a nice break of this trend line, and then a retest as resistance would be beautiful. And then we could target back down to this higher time frame trend line, and potentially even lower if we see something like this break and retest happen down here. But for now, I'm going to give you guys a range on this 4-hour. From the trend line to here, it's about 60, 70 pips, roughly. So this could be a good trade potentially if we see those confirmations, right? We just want to see a lot of bearish volume coming out of here, which we could see early in the week. But again, we'll post more about this in the premium analysis if you're a member. So keep an eye on this one. So like I said before I hopped on the AJ, you know, EJ and AJ share a highly correlated relationship. So it's going to be pretty similar, bearish trend, looking for shorts. So let's hop up to the monthly on EJ. So here we are on the EJ monthly. Again, a lot of bearish pressure. Here's our main support level right here at this weekly support, like 111.5. This highlighted zone here, right? Very bearish. Drop down to the weekly. We got this big bearish channel. Just look at this thing, guys. It's just, you know, lower low after lower low after lower low after lower high. It's just dropping. So if we look at more recent price action, see how long this or how overextended this push was. Very overextended. Pretty swift move. Happened kind of quickly. So what happens after a big push? We like to wait for a retest or a retracement to a fib level. And this one actually pulled back to a pretty deep fib. This is an 88.6, you know, and I fibbed it from this conviction candle of the break, retest, and then down to the low. So 88.6 was the retracement. And we're seeing a bit of a transition. We have a daily higher low right here. And we're getting some engulfing. So like there's a daily engulfing through the MAs, through broken structure. So that's why I put this analysis out on a 4-hour, which shows this. It's a bit of a range, right? A bit of a range between the weekly and the 618 acting as support. And this is about 160 pip range for a daily, which isn't, you know, too crazy, but we just want to wait for confirmation. So here we have that break of structure. I'm expecting a bit of a retracement, right, before we get some more bearish confirmation, more bearish engulfings. And ideally, we would just like to see this higher low broken. We'd like to see this zone broken, break and retest, and then we could target much lower. Because again, this is based on the daily and higher time frames. So if this move does begin to execute, we can see this drop quite a bit. back, maybe even down to this monthly, this 116.575 area. But definitely, hold on, actually, I'm going to mark another target on the daily here. So at least, we want to target back down to this 38.2 potentially, back on this next major support level, which I'm going to mark for you guys right here. This level about the 117.8. This level right here. 1 second. And I'm going to get a range for you guys to see how far we could potentially see this pair drop. So if we do enter on confirmation here based on this break and retest, we could be seeing 200 pip move, in the more short term. So this is something very interesting to look at for this next week. And again, AJ shares a relationship with EJ, highly correlated. So you will see something happen with both of these pairs if this does execute. So very interesting. But see how we're just looking for those transitions. We identified the daily lower high. We're just following confirmation, guys. We're not predicting anything. We're just following what the market tells us. All right, so those are the 6 pairs I prepared for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and pass this off to Angelo. If you have any questions, guys, just feel free to type it in the chat.
Nice. Obviously, a lot of moves shaping up for this week. We're just focused on the ones that we see structure the clearest, right? So we did some breakdowns. Obviously, we got the overall direction, but we're going to go for the ones that we understand the clearest. We're going to try to execute on those. So Nick did a lot of cross pairs. I'm going to do some of the major ones. You did AU, right?
Yeah, I just covered AU.
So I'm just going to
Okay. I'm going to pull chat up so I can see it. There we go.
This sounds good too.
Yeah, can you guys hear Angelo fine? Just type in chat, just please, yes or no, if you can hear Angelo talking.
I think so. It says it.
Yeah, it's showing. I just want to make sure that you're too low, actually. Really.
Too low.
Hold on.
Too low. Yo, what's up? Test.
That should be much better. Is that better? Well, we're sharing a mic.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're just sharing the same mic. All right. Cool. Yeah, we're good.
Better.
All right. So chat. So we're gonna go over. Let's go back into this right here. Now let's take a look. I know there was some requests. UJ is always popular. So we wanted UJ, gold, USD, AD. So yeah, guys, if you want anything analyzed, be sure to put it in here so that we'll get it done. We got NJ comment. I see that's in here. So we'll get that one comment. I'll go over GU, UJ, and over AJ. And then, yes, we got EU, UJ, GU. Let's do those 3. So we do UJ. So yeah, UJ currently for Signal members, we're in a trade right now. Let's just start up on the monthly, sort of see what's going on. So obviously, just right away, we're below the moving averages right here. They're starting to flatline out, but slightly pointing down a little bit. And all the way on this monthly time frame, we got this lower low, lower high, we got this lower low, and now same thing, structure on every time frame. Subsequently, we're looking now, we're potentially near a lower high, and that is one of our rules, is that on the downtrends, we want to execute our shorts at the lower highs. So this is definitely shaping up for an area where potentially we are looking for sells. We came up above this moving average and actually had a sharp rejection, and we got this weekly level that I've planted right here. So again, that's starting all the way up on the weekly or on the monthly. Let's come down to the weekly. Last week closed with this bearish engulfing. So obviously, this level is being tested pretty significantly. And then we had this bearish engulfing, which all that tells us is right now there are more sellers than buyers within the market. Now, this doesn't mean this is going to shoot down right away. This just means that we have our sentiment in mind as to where we think the market is going to go. Because now we come down to the daily, we can start to see right here, we got some higher highs, higher low, we got higher high, higher low. Same thing, we got a high, a higher low, and then we got a little bit of a higher high here, and then this is our main level of daily support. So this is our main level of daily structure. On this 4-hour, ultimately this trade was signaled on this little transition. We had some confirmations, and overall the significant level that it was at was saying that, okay, this 4-hour market is breaking a minor level of structure, and ultimately we're looking to short. But now that we're right near this daily support level, we're really going to see how things play out. You know, we got a couple of bearish engulfings in this area, potential scenarios that we're really looking to line up right now, if we're not in this trade already, is we're going to look for price to come down much like this, and we're going to look for a test of this support level that will then turn into resistance before sending us short. So right now we're looking to play right off of this support level on UJ. Nothing crazy. If things do double bottom here, we could potentially play this back up into this weekly resistance level. So again, we're just going to watch and we're going to see how things react, and we're going to look left and see similarly how we had some previous rejection in this area as well. So UJ overall, we're bearish in this zone, but this daily support is definitely major, and that's where we are at right now. So let's be mindful of that. Let's go over to EU. So we got EU. We'll start all the way on the monthly again. Boom, like this. So EU right away, what I'm looking at is we got these moving averages, obviously, red over blue. We're bearish right now, more sellers than buyers. And price is coming back into that moving average, rejecting last month. And then again, we're coming back into that area and we're seeing some rejection right there. But at the same time, we got this weekly level of support down here that is definitely major. So that's sort of what it's playing off of right now. So let's get a little bit of a more clear direction on this weekly. Look at these lower high, lower low, lower high. We got a lower low, lower high, lower low. So right here, we got this lower high. We had this weekly bearish engulfing, and then we're getting a lot of buyers exhaustion coming right now. So ultimately, with our sentiment on the monthly and on the weekly, we're looking pretty bearish in this. We're getting a lot of selling pressure, but again, this level down here is definitely a significant key level that we got to be mindful of. Now let's come down to the daily. So the daily, we're seeing a little bit of a transition. We got a break below this level of support right here that had formed, and then we had the rejection, and then we actually broke above there, and we had this bearish engulfing, making this a tested area. So pretty much at the moment, we're just bouncing around this 50% level. We had this bearish engulfing, but we had some sellers exhaustion here. So in the analysis, pretty much what we're looking for is a retest again of a significant level up here, back up to this line right there, and then coming down even onto the 1 hour. I mean, just starting to see like what is that setup what actually is that setup. We're having breaks of these levels of support. So if we can see price come back into that area or form some sort of pattern to signal like continuation, we're definitely going to try to short this market right here. So we got EU, UJ, and we got GU. GU, all GBP pairs with a lot of movement coming last week. It doesn't look as though we're going to find a lot of opportunity this week. We had price really surge all last week. So let's just start up all the way onto the monthly and see what's going on right here. So on the monthly, obviously, we've been pretty bearish on this pair. At the same time, at the moment right now, we've managed to break above. Very similar to over here, we've broken above the moving averages. So there's more buyers than sellers at the moment. At the same time, overall, with being bearish, I mean, we're mindful of this weekly level that's now being tested, which is this previous lower high. So as we come into this range, I'm really going to just look and see how price reacts. I mean, then again, coming down to the weekly, look, we just closed last week above this 200-day moving average. So we have a lot of bullish momentum. I'm not going to just long, though, at the top of this market right now. I'm going to look for some sort of consolidation, some sort of continuation pattern, and then we'll look and see flags, pennants, whatnot, rectangles, and then we'll look to see if we can long. If this continues to go up at the moment, it's no big deal. Like I said, if we can't find any confirmation, I'm not just going to hope on something. And again, coming down to the daily, we got our key resistance level up here, but at the same time, unless we see some sort of clear indication of reversal in this area, we're pretty much just going to wait this out. I overall just fibbed this downward push right here, and then we see how this 38.2 broke and this 78.6 broke. So there's been a lot of bullish momentum, and essentially we're right near a supply zone where potentially we can find resistance. So we're gonna just wait out and see this. Do you do NU?
I did not do NU, no.
So we got NU. So GU and NU, I'm really not. They're not like essentially on my watch list, but then again, we still can take a look at them and see what's going on. So we got NU on the monthly, came right off this monthly level down there. We're right in between our moving averages. So overall, we still are bearish. But again, coming down to the weekly, looking at this, we've surged above this weekly level of resistance right here. And basically, we are now near the 618. There really isn't any key level until we get more up into around the 0.6600 area. So if we go up a little bit more. So again, right now, we've got some buyers exhaustion going on right now. So we might look for potential reversals from this area, the 0.6600, as we come up closer. So yeah, we're just waiting it out. I'm not going to be too focused on these two pairs, NU and GU, right now. The main ones I have is EU, AU, and USEF that I'm going to be. Let's actually take a look. Did you ever USEF?
I did not do USEF, nope.
So USEF, let's look on the monthly. So USEF's just within this consolidation range right here. It's been bouncing around here for like 4 months, pretty much like 130 pips right in there. So right now, let's just break it down. Right now, as I look at this, overall seems pretty bullish. Seems as though there's more buyers than sellers over the course of the last year. And at the current position that it's in, we got our moving averages crossed, so we are above. And essentially right now, again, going with our rules of where we want to enter and with structure, we're basically at a potential higher low right now. Let's get onto this daily, because obviously there's a lot of candles and we want to kind of break down this into more information so that we can make a better decision as to like what structure is forming. So right here, boom, we got like an upward little trend. We got some highs, some higher lows, higher high, higher low, and then we've just been bouncing within this entire range for a little while. So we're back at this low right here, where previously we've actually maintained or managed to bounce off of. So what I'm really looking for right now is a little bit of a transition on this 1 hour. And that's why I sort of see something going on right now where onto this 1 hour, we got a little bit of a break of resistance, right? But at the same time, let's keep in mind, what is this overall retracement? This right here is a 23.6. So what's going on right now, considering, how much bearish momentum has been within this pair? This break right here, so this daily setup, essentially, this daily bullish engulfing, this I'm not too concerned about yet. I'm not really going to be taking or looking for my entries quite yet. Now, as we're forming this level up here, this is showing a lot more bullish momentum, a deeper retracement. And if this manages to be broken, then I will look to get in on that first higher low, because this is actually a more legitimate level. And if you look left, this actually was like a little bit of support when we had all of those sellers come in as well. So if this level manages to break, then I will start to look for that first higher low and look to get in on that new trend that's forming on USEF. So that's why I am going to be looking at this pair a little bit more closely this week. And then we got USEF. So let's go over the last one we're going to go over is GJ. So let's take a look. We got GJ. And again, these GBP pairs, pretty much surging. So right now it's going to be pretty difficult to short unless we see some serious confirmation, very similar to NU. I'm going to look for a similar setup. But all the way on this weekly, we're approaching this monthly level now. Last week we ended with a little bit of buyer's exhaustion. We're also coming up to this 200-day moving average right here. And then if we even want to bring on like a little bit of a trend line right here, go like that. So there's definitely like a confluence area right here. We got resistance, we got 200-day moving average, and we got our trend line. So this, I'm going to look to take shorts in for sure. But like I said, I'm going to look for a little bit more confirmation, not just like a bearish engulfing. In a sense, I'm going to look on this lower time frame as we start to form structure, because again, this is a very bullish trend right now. As we start to form more structure to the upside and we fib this, you know, we're starting to form that first level of a potential higher low in this instance. And if we manage to break below here and get a good retest, that's when I'll start to consider some shorts in this area. So it is very early on GJ right now. Right now, we're really just looking potentially to just take longs back into this zone, which I'm not too thrilled about. So that was GJ, and you went over EJ, ESEF, and everything. So yeah, that was you know, a good amount of pairs. Obviously, there's some setups. Like I said, mainly we're looking at, or I'm going to be looking at USEF, AU, EU, and then UJ if you're not already in UJ. So yeah, that's going to be pretty much the analysis for the week. If there's any pairs in particular right now that you want us to break down, we can do a little breakdown for you real quick. If not, though, we're going to wrap it up. So we'll give you a minute or two.
Also, they can, I don't know if they, also, if you guys can join the Discord and get access to all of the analyses that we posted, they're also free, and they come with our, you know, descriptions as well, like we just covered. So he wants G. Yeah. We'll do that one. That's Johnny.
So we'll do GNZD and then we'll wrap it up.
All right.
So we got, so I'm going to do a little bit of a breakdown. Did you do ESEF? Yeah, we did ESEF. And this will be recorded. So you can obviously just review any of the analyses as well.
Yeah, we're going to post it on YouTube. So,
yeah. So here we go. We got GBP, NZD. I actually wanted to look at this as well. So I'm just going to start all the way on this monthly, and we're just going to take it down from here. We're going to try to find where our structure is. Right here, I see like a higher high, higher low, higher high, and then a higher low. So we've got point of structure right here. So I'm going to mark this, and I'll label it up. Boom, boom, and then we'll try to find another level of structure based on this. Here we've got some lower highs, lower low, lower high. So we've got like a nice level of structure within actually where we're at right now, which is pretty interesting. And I'm just going to come onto here and just to confirm. So we got some tested areas here on both sides. And then down here, we got a tested area, tested area. So these are some good ranges that price has been bouncing within. And I'm just going to find my weekly level now, which is pretty much based on how the percentages of how this is moving. I'm going to have these monthly levels, but then I'm also going to just come down to this weekly just to confirm where we're at. As you can see, this is a higher high that has been respected multiple times. And on the flip side, we have a higher low. So this is definitely qualifies as one of our situations. So that's going to be my key levels that I'm going to place. Again, key levels, monthly and weekly, looking overall, you know, where price is going with the biggest amount of information. Right now, as we can see, we've come up and bring moving averages back on. So we've come up into our monthly resistance level, and we've actually closed last month with a doji. So there's been some indecision around this level. Buyers and sellers can't take control. Doji's typically signal of reversal. So right now, let's take a look a little bit further as to what's going on. And again, on this weekly, you know, we got this high, we got higher low, we got this high, but we're at this key level of resistance. At the same time, though, what pattern is really forming here on this daily? So this is interesting. We come onto this daily, we can see some sort of flag that's forming right like this. So boom, right here, we're within this range of price. We can even make an adjustment for it to be like this. So this is how price has been moving. We're within this channel on this daily time frame. And if we were to fib, very similar to before on NU, on this daily, we formed level of support right here at this 38.2. We're respecting that multiple times. And then as you can see right now, we managed to break below that. And we actually have our first bearish engulfing. Someone drew on the screen. So we have our first bearish engulfing right here. So we're definitely seeing a little bit of a transition here to the downside. Let's come on to this right here. I don't know how to take this off. So we got, we're coming down now to the 4 hour right now. So in the 4 hour, we're seeing lower high, lower low. We see a lower high, and then we form another lower low. So if I just fib this right here, and again, GBP/NZD is very, very wicky. It likes to show a lot of wicks. So a very volatile pair to be trading. So right here, we've seen a rejection of the 88.6 level. We had some confluence there, that monthly, 200-day. We had bearish engulfings. But right now, market open and gapped up. We're showing some bullish momentum at the moment. But pretty much on this 30-minute, we're just looking to form some sort of pullback retracement before potentially confirming again to the downside. But why?
You're fine.
All of this.
No. Well, I mean, whoever's doing that, but you're good. You're good. Someone's annotating.
So we are looking right now on this. I mean, I would be looking for price to potentially retest this 618. Look at all this exhaustion. If we just look left right here.
Yep.
So we're gonna have a little bit of a zone here to potentially move out of. And again, on this 30-minute, as we come up into this zone, we're gonna look for breaks of some minor support before shorting this market and continuing this overall downtrend. So that's GBP/NZD. So thanks everybody for sticking around. Again, this is gonna be recorded, and we're gonna drop this in the Discord, and we'll drop it in the Telegram as well.
And you guys can also go to our YouTube channel, and that's where it's gonna be hosted. But you're a buyer of the big GP news coming this week. Yeah, well, I mean, we never recommend trading solely based on news. We always have to keep the technicals in mind first. But anyway, yeah, this video will be recorded and posted on YouTube. Make sure to join the Discord, Telegram, so you guys can catch all of our analysis before the market opens. So thank you guys for joining, and those who stuck around the entire time. Have a good week, guys. And,
obviously, good luck to everybody this week. You're welcome to the session. Hell yeah. And let's get it popping. Let's get it going. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Yeah, buddy.